Now earlier I mentioned that if you wanted to capture a single digit and you wanted any digit, you could do 0 through 9. But we don't normally do that. And the reason we don't normally do that is that's kind of overkill. There's actually a special object, a special command that we can use that will allow us to get any single digit we wish. Notice that it's the lowercase d and it's preceded by this backslash. The reason it's preceded by this backslash is the backslash acts as what's called an escape character. The escape character says, don't treat this lowercase d as if it were a literal letter D. If I did that, you would see that it matches not on numbers, but literally on lowercase d. And if we were case insensitive, it would match on even capital D's if we had any in this document. So if we want to use this special command, if we want to use the lowercase d as a command, then we can't just put the letter D in there. We have to escape the lowercase d. Notice how the matches change. The matches are now grabbing every single digit, and it's grabbing any digit 0 through 9. If I hover over this, you can even see that REGEX 101 tells us it matches a digit and it's equal to the range 0 through 9. Awesome. And then similarly, if we look at our cheat sheet, it says any non-digit. What does that mean? Well, if I change the lowercase d to a capital D, notice what it matches now. And notice what doesn't match. Now it's skipping over every single individual digit and instead matching anything that's not a number. In other words, it is the inverse. It is the opposite of lowercase d. If you do it fast enough, you can kind of see how they switch places and become the opposites of each other. There are several of these escape commands that are very, very common. For example, if I want to match a white space character, but any white space character, that means tabs as well as a single space character or some special white space, then I could do \s, and that will match every time a white space character appears. Now in this document, there are only single space characters. So you know what? Right here at the top, I'm going to go ahead at the very beginning, I'm going to hit the tab character. Now notice that the tab character takes up, looks like four single character positions in this file. But it's a single match. It's a single match because technically the tab character is a single character. And we're saying grab any white space character. Notice that this one tells us that it will capture carriage returns, new line characters, tabs, and a couple of other special white space characters from other languages. So the /s is different than just doing a single space character. If I do a single space character, notice that you can't really see it, but it is literally the single space character. Notice that the tab is no longer a match. So having escape s says, give me all the white space in the document. This is important when we're trying to match large patterns where white space may be included. Now, similarly, if you look at the cheat sheet, capital S is the inverse. It's give me everything that is not white space. So it skips all of the space characters, the tab, the single space characters, and it captures everything that is not considered one of those special characters. Now you can play with these on your own as well, but the most common ones are listed here. Any white space character and its inverse, any digit and its inverse, and any word character and its inverse. But wait, Professor Krebs, what the heck is a word character or a word char? Well, let's play with it. Let's experiment. Go ahead. Put it in. What does it look like? Notice that the digits get captured, but the dots don't. The letters get captured, but the slashes and the colon and the quotes and the tab and the white space and the hyphens, none of them get captured at all. It's important to note, though, that underscores are considered word chars. Notice how that underscore got captured? And it's over here as match number 1. Underscores, digits, and letters are all considered word chars. What about other special characters? Are there any other special characters that get captured as word chars? If I do a slash, if I do a pipe, if I do a // if I do a question mark, not really. It's really the digits and the underscore and the letters. Those are the primary word chars that REGEX identifies as word chars. These are the most common escape sequences. Get familiar with them, get comfortable with them. You will use these an awful lot as you try to express other things in regex. Now, one more thing I want to show you about escape characters. What if our file actually contains a backslash? Special words, backslash space, okay? What if our pattern actually contains backslashes? Well, if I put in a single backslash by itself, you'll notice that it's highlighted in red. And the reason it's highlighted in red is because right now it's viewed as an escape character. And it's waiting for some additional thing to follow so that the escape sequence is complete. But we don't want to escape a different sequence. We actually want to find all the backslashes. So how do we do that? If the backslash is an escape, how do we find backslashes? What do you think? The answer is we must escape the escape. If we want a backslash, then we have to escape the backslash to express the pattern. Now, what's interesting is that the forward slash also cannot be left on its own. It has other syntactic meaning in the regex grammar. So in order to use a forward slash, we must escape the forward slash, just like we had to escape the escape or escape the backslash. Once we've done that, it will match any of those symbols by themselves. So that brings up an interesting question. What if I want to find all the forward slashes and I want to find all the backslashes? Notice that if I do this, all of a sudden no pattern matches. Why? Why does no pattern match? I mean, don't we have backslashes? Don't we have forward slashes? Of course we do. But what we've just written here, this expression says, find me a forward slash followed immediately by a backslash. It's looking for the entire pattern. Just like earlier when we had all the capital letters GET, it looked for all of those letters as a combination, and that combination was a match. So when I do this, it's saying look for a forward slash followed by a backslash. You might also notice that there are places with double forward slashes. So if I do that, you'll notice that it will find all the double forward slashes as single matches. So let's go back to the original question. What if what I really meant was I want to find every individual backslash or every individual forward slash all in one search? How would you do that? Think about that for a second. How would you say match all of the forward and backslashes individually? Take a moment and try it out. Okay, now that you've tried it, here's the answer. Remember, we can always do this range box, which will allow us to specify any single character to be found individually. And we can list as many of them as we wish. I'm just being arbitrary here, but now this means match any forward slash, any backslash, any P, H, E, 3, 2, or 4 that you find. And notice all the matches that it finds. So if we want to find any individual slash, we can just throw them into a range box and it will look for any of those individual characters. Out of curiosity, what happens when we say, oh, look, a range? Now it will find any character in the range between forward slash and backslash. Notice this is based on the ASCII indices of 47 through 92. That's an important thing to know. If you understand what ASCII is, this suddenly becomes very powerful, this range thing. You can use special symbols that are not letters or special symbols that are not digits that now can be found in a range, even though you and I might not have an intuitive range for those symbols. If you ever want to know what the ASCII value of a character is, simply look up ASCII table in Google. Find an image that you like, and notice the decimal value and the symbol, the character that it represents. This is the best way to quickly find out what the ASCII value of any given character is. And notice that at 47 is our forward slash, and at 92 is our backslash. Everything between values 47 and 92 are going to match in our regex because that is the numeric value of the range, index 47 through 92 inclusive. Pretty handy stuff. Okay, now let's take a moment and let's talk about groupings and repetition.